Why, thank you, Dragon. This is why you should go and raid Dragon immediately. There's a 2x on the speed sets, and there's a Dragon tournament currently active. However, today we're not here to talk about Dragon or how good the speed artifact set is or how hard it is to get these damn snow points every day, and prepare for the clan versus clan, and prepare for any upcoming fusions if you're participating in the fusion right now. Today we're talking clan boss, and in particular the best epic free-to-play champions that you can take up to your clan boss team for maximum damage dealing. We're gonna be talking purely nukers today. Purely mean, lean, killing machines. Let's get right into it, guys. Now, the best kind of damage dealers for clan boss are nukers that deal damage based off max HP or have HP burn or some sort of poison. Ideally, you want to have at least one of these damage dealers on your team. Today, I'm going to give you some examples of some free-to-play epic champions you can use on your team to fit these roles. You're currently seeing one of these champions at full action. You're seeing Fane here on the second spot. Fane is a certified smacker in clan boss. As you very well know, Fane is a part of my promo link, but you know what's cooler than Fane? The fact that you can now get Corrado Foxhunter as your starter champion. And I'll repeat the instructions for you one more time. You need to click on my link, which you can find in the description box below. You need to make a brand new account with Playerium Play. Brand new account, brand new email. Preferably do this through Google Chrome. When you set up your brand new account with your new email, and when you log into Raid, you're going to get your rewards in your inbox, and you're gonna start your game with Corrado. As you level up in progress, at level 40 you get Fane, at level 45 you get Romero, and at level 50 you get Vergus. I don't think there has ever been a better time to start a brand new account with Raid Shadow Legends than today. And since we've already started talking about Fane, let's just cover her very quickly and get her out of the way. Why I love her so much, you guys. She attacks one enemy twice, and each hit has a 35% chance of stealing 5% of the target's current turn meter. Once fully booked, that's a 50% chance for each hit. On her A2, she has a 100% chance of placing two 5% poison debuffs and a 50% decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. Very, very important for you to be able to somehow decrease and lower the damage that the clan boss is putting out, especially after the 15th turn when his attacks start getting more and more devastating for your team. Decrease attack is a lovely debuff. We have some more debuffs here. On her A3, she brings a strong decrease defense and a 25% weaken for 3 turns. That's a triple hitter. The third hit heals this champion by 4% of their max HP for every debuff on the target. So on top of the poison that she brings in is super helpful in clan boss, she also brings 3 great debuffs for your clan boss team. So that's why she's always on the top of my list as for epics to consider putting in your clan boss team. Now, Juliana has been power crept over the years, but she is a dual partner with Romero, and she brings a really good 100% chance of a HP burn debuff for 3 turns after removing all buffs from the target. This is an A3 with some incredible utility. Her A1 is a double hitter, and each critical fills this champion's turn meter by 10%. Her A2 is where Romero comes in play. She places a 30% increased crit rate buff on herself for 2 turns, and then attacks one enemy twice. Then places a 5% poison debuff on the target for 3 turns if this attack is critical, and if Romero's on the same team, will ignore 50% of the target's defense. So that poison, again, super helpful. Increased crit rate on herself is also quite nice, and she also increases ally crit rate in arena battles by 20%. Juliana is great to consider, though there are many counterparts that outclass her right now. Either way, I really do like her utility here, especially on her A2 and A3. Of course, we can't make a list like that and not include Geomancer. You know what I mean? Geomancer is crazy. Geomancer might have to be the best epic clan boss damage dealer free-to-play damage dealer. He might be the one, guys. On his A1, he attacks all enemies and has a 40% chance of placing a 50% decreased accuracy debuff for 2 turns. Decreased accuracy is great. Great debuff. Removes all buffs from a target enemy, then attacks them on an A2. Steals all buffs instead if the target is under an HP burn debuff placed by this champion. Reduces the cooldown of Quicksand Grasp by 2 turns if the target is killed by this skill while under an HP burn debuff placed by this champion. This is the Quicksand Grasp, which is where he fully depletes the target's turn meter, fills the champion's turn meter by the amount the target loses, and has a 100% chance of placing an HP burn once fully booked out, and a 25% weaken debuff on the target for 3 turns. What an insane A3. This guy hits like a legendary. Decreases the damage all allies receive by 15% and deflects that damage onto each enemy under an HP burn debuff. Decreases the damage all allies receive by 15% and deflects the damage onto each enemy under an HP burn debuff placed by this champion. If there are multiple champions on the same team, with this skill, only one will activate. Whenever this champion is attacked, deflects 30% of the damage instead. When deflecting damage on each enemy hit, has a 30% chance of dealing additional damage equal to 3% of the target's max HP. I mean, come on. That passive and that HP burn? Geomancer is a must-have on your clan boss team. You can even start praying for him a little bit. He's gonna bring your damage up by a ton. Onto the barbarians. American the Fat. While this might be very derogatory towards poor Farkarin, he just has a very heavy build, okay? He's beautiful the way he is. He gives me Maui from Moana, but like white and balding. He's quite helpful in clan boss. He has a 50% chance of placing a 60% strong decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Decreased defense, very helpful debuff. 100% chance of placing an HP burn debuff and 2 5% poison debuffs for 2 turns. A lot of utility just on that A2. And on his A3, he increases the crit rate and crit damage buff on all allies except himself for 3 turns. Then all allies except this champion will attack 1 target enemy. Very interesting A3. A little steep in the beginning, but then take it down to a 4-turn cooldown. And this champion will make all of the rest of your champions smack super hard. Body block deflects 20% of all incoming damage this champion receives onto all allies. The damage will be spread equally across all allies. This damage midgetation here might seem scary at first, but actually super vital to all of your champions maintaining kind of a similar health bar and none of your champions dying too quickly. Next up we have Venomage. Venomage looks like a cobra snake. Very cool character design. Venomage seems to be a guy. That's a girl. I don't know what they are. Venomage is a great budget damage dealer for clan boss. Let's go over their skills. Toxicity attacks one enemy twice. Destroys the target's max HP by 75% of the damage inflicted if they're under a heal reduction debuff. Each hit has a 35% chance of activating up to 2 poison debuffs on the target. We got both poison and heal reduction. On their A2, the attack one enemy has a 100% chance of placing a strong decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Also has a 75% chance of placing a strong decreased attack debuff for 2 turns if the target is under a poison debuff. Great debuffs here. They also bring a 100% heal reduction on a 100% land rate once fully booked for 3 turns on an AoE, and also has a 100% land rate of placing 2 poison debuffs for 2 turns once you book out that skill. And booking out that skill is so much easier than booking out a legendary champion skill because you get epic skill tomes a lot. And it is only 5 levels. And at the end, you also take the cooldown by 1, making it a 3-turn cooldown, just quite nice. Enemies under heal reduction debuffs inflict 15% less damage, which is exactly what you need for the demon clan boss, especially when you survive more rounds and the damage and the clan boss damage stacks higher. We also have an aura that increases accuracy in all battles by 45 in case you needed it. Venomage moves like a woman Looks like a man. Exactly my type of champion. Next up on our list, we have Anax. Anax has a very interesting backstory. And this guy can be a part of your unkillable clan boss team rotation. He has a 60% decreased defense on a 35% chance for 2 turns on a double hitter. Very similarly to Fane, he also comes with a decreased accuracy and a poison debuff for 3 turns. 3 turns is great. Decreased accuracy, also a very useful debuff to have. And here has a 100% chance of placing a 25% weaken debuff for 2 turns on his A3 on a 3-turn cooldown once fully booked, and heals this champion by 50% of the damage inflicted, again very similarly to Fane. On his passive, he places a 60% increased defense buff on himself for 2 turns when their HP drops below 75%, and places increased attack on a 50% on himself for 2 turns when his HP drops below 50%, and grants an extra turn when he drops below 10%. Now, I'm seeing how you have to be a little careful with this passive here, because this extra turn can throw things off a little bit in an unkillable formation. But if you pull an Anax and you have someone with a block damage buffs, like Helicath is, right? Or Demethea, or this can be Giga broken combination. Next up, we have Dark Kale. Look at how much cooler he is than regular Kale. I'm sorry, but yo, he's geared up like a Lego, man. He has a triple hitter on his A1. Each hit has a 25% chance to instantly activate 2 poison debuffs, or 1 poison debuff and 1 HP burn debuff on the target. On his A2, he attacks all enemies, has a 100% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. Each critical hit also has a 75% chance of increasing the duration of all debuffs on the target by 1 turn. So also, each critical hit also has a 100% chance of increasing the duration of all debuffs on the target by 1 turn. How crazy is that? Has a 100% chance of placing 3 5% poison debuffs and 25% poison sensitivity debuff on the target for 2 turns. This is obviously why he's the better Kale. On a 3-turn cooldown, moreover. His passive decreases the crit rate of enemies under 2 or more poison debuffs by 15%. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, only one will activate. The cool thing about Dark Kale is that he is free to win over time, because you actually get to farm for his fragments in secret rooms in Doom Tower. So he's not exactly a pullable, but you can pretty much get your hands on him for free, even though it's gonna take you some grinding, right? Nothing good in this life comes for free. You should know this. But I really do quickly want to shout out a particular champion. I can't talk about her purely because she's a void. Frenzy's great. Frenzy's great into clan boss. If you manage to pull her from a void shard, Chani in particular can be good taken into clan boss if you pair her with a poisoner. Now, she brings a 25% poison sensitivity on a 60% chance for 2 turns. This is great because it's on her A1, so she can spam it. She places a 50% increased accuracy and 50% increased attack buff on herself for 2 turns, and then attacks one enemy. Also places an HP burn debuff for 2 turns if this attack is critical, which can be very, very helpful if you manage to make her land that HP burn, which means you have to stack up her crit rate. And on her A3, she has an AoE that has an 80% chance of increasing the duration of all debuffs by 1 turn. And on her passive, she's immune to decreased accuracy debuffs and increases this champion's crit rate by 0.05% for every point of accuracy they have. Very interesting passive, right? Her aura also increases ally accuracy in all battles by 40%. Another place Chinese very good in is Dragon, because of that HP burn and that poison sensitivity. If you started your game with Kale, Chani is a really good addition to your team. And that concludes our list for the top epic free-to-play damage dealers to include in your clan boss team. I hope you guys found some of the champions that I mentioned amongst your favorites, or you've played around with them, you're pleased with them. Let me know if you can think of any other free-to-play epic champions. There are really good damage dealers into Clan Boss. Shoot them down in the comment section below. I always appreciate reading your responses, and I really thank you for being so active. Thank you for the support. I'll see you guys again in the next video. Bye bye!